Hi, I'm Gary Bembridge of Tips for Travellers. I'm on board Hapag Lloyd Cruises Europa 2, and I'm going to tell you 9 things I think you need to know about this ship to help you decide if it's a ship that you should really actively consider cruising with. So the first thing you need to know is that this is a small ship operating at the ultra luxury end of cruising. It's an 11-deck ship, it holds a maximum of 500 passengers, and it is premium price. It claims to have the greatest amount of space per passenger of any cruise ship out there, and all of the suites on board have verandas. Europa 2 has consistently had the highest ratings by many guides, including the Berlet's Guide to Cruising. The design is very modern, it's very contemporary, more of a kind of a boutique hotel look than a traditional cruise ship. There are over 800 pieces of original art, including some by famous artists like Damien Hirst on board. The second thing you need to know is that it is a European and very Germanic experience. Being a German line, it is mostly occupied and used by German speakers. However, Europa 2 has been designated as their international ship to attract more and more English speakers. So all of the crew on board are bilingual. They speak German and English. All the documentation on board you'll find that you come in contact with as an English speaker will be English. There's also an international hostess on board. There will always be an English excursion, or if there's an excursion that you want to do that's in German, they'll make sure there's someone available to come on the tour with you to translate it into English for you. If there's any talks on board which are by German personalities or German speakers, a live translation will be provided. All the safety briefings, Zodiac briefings are always done in English. All announcements are done both in German and in English. But it is a very European experience compared to some of the other ultra-luxury lines, which are much more American experience. So for example, the onboard currency is the euro, not the dollar. The third thing you need to know is about the whole dining experience. Now, all food is included within your fare. Both the standard restaurants and the specialty restaurants are all included. There are 7 restaurants on board. Well, the main dining room is called Weltmeer. This is an a la carte restaurant. It's a very beautiful room and has both a set a la carte menu, which doesn't change, and then an a la carte menu for the day, so massive amount of choice. You then have the Yacht Club, which is both an indoor and outdoor. It's more informal. It's the buffet restaurant. So those are the 2 main restaurants. You never have to make reservations for those. You have Sakura, which is an amazing sushi restaurant with incredible sushi. One of the very popular restaurants on board is Tarragon. Tarragon is a French bistro restaurant, a great restaurant, one of the most popular ones on board. Just linked to Tarragon is the Grand Reserve, which is really focusing on wine tasting and meals. A great restaurant if you're into Asian food is Elements. This has phenomenal Asian food. Probably one of the most popular of all is Serenissima, which is the Italian restaurant, magnificent Italian food. Then, of course, you have 24-hour room service with the breakfast being pretty magnificent. The other thing which is great, which is included, is once a week on board is a caviar night. These are held in every single restaurant will have a caviar feature. Now, on board Europa 2, there are 6 magnificent bars and lounges. Collins is a great bar, particularly if you're into smoking or cigars. It's the Connoisseur Bar, and it has an enormous range of gins. They claim to have the biggest range of gins of any ship. Club 2 is an evening venue, and it has live music. It has a band that plays in there. Down in the lobby area is the piano bar, and the pianist at various times during the day will play the grand piano there. Out of the pool, you've got the pool bar, which of course is open during the day, and often there's entertainment or activities at the pool at night. 2 venues which I really like, the first of which is Zanzibar. This is based on a famous German beach bar. It's also open air. It's a great spot, not only for drinks, but in the evening they'll often have music there, live music, or a disco playing. And then there's the Belvedere. This is the library, and it's also where you have your coffees and teas in the afternoon. They have a beautiful afternoon tea service where you get magnificent cakes and, of course, your specialty teas and coffees. The fifth thing you need to know is about accommodation. There are 7 grades of suites on board, and as I mentioned, all of them have a veranda. Now, the main type of accommodation on board is a veranda suite, and there are 141. And the veranda suite is a magnificent suite. It's over 30 square meters, has a really big balcony. It's very plush, nice big walk-in cupboard, and a great bathroom which has both a bath and a shower. So all of the accommodation on board is very spacious, and particularly spacious considering it's a relatively small ship. There's not loads and loads of entertainment on board, but there are, of course, some options. In the theatre, there will often be shows, and the shows tend to lean towards more dance shows, so language is less of an issue. You've got the band, obviously, I've mentioned in Club 2, and they'll sometimes have special events like the Captain's Welcome Pool Party. There'll also be other events like there'll be gin tasting, there may be some guest speakers, there's an art gallery and some art tours showing you around those over 800 pieces of art. One of the facilities they have, which you do pay extra for, is the meal cookery classes. But overall, the entertainment's relatively low-key. There's no casino. There's a daily program which has various activities in, but it tends to be much lower key. Now, the seventh thing you need to know is about other facilities, particularly when it comes to fitness and relaxation. There's a very large spa. There's a pretty big fitness room. All the fitness classes are included within the fare. There's a magnificent swimming pool which has a roof that closes, so if the weather's not great, they can close the roof. They also have a quiet area up on deck 11 with a jacuzzi. There's also some golf simulators, so you can actually practice playing golf. The other great thing is they have bicycles on board, so they do run as one of the excursion options normally in most ports, a bike excursion, which is a paid-for excursion, but then there are also bikes which you can then just use. So if you just want to go off and explore on bicycles, you can go and do that. What's quite exciting about Europa 2 is it's a much younger age demographic than you'll find on many other ultra-luxury lines. Hapag Lloyd are actively going out trying to encourage young professionals to cruise on Europa 2. So the ship is designed and the facilities are really designed to cater for and attract a younger cruiser. So you're going to find they're sort of in their 40s and often with families. So that's why many of the cruises on Europa 2 are shorter, so they'll be 7, 8 to 10 days long, which make it much more appealing. Also, there's lots and lots of incentives to attract younger cruisers on board, particularly those with families. So if you are traveling with a family, you'll find if you've got kids up to the age of 11, if they travel in your cabin, they travel for free. If they're between 11 and 15, they just pay a small fee of around about €100, $100 per child if they stay within your cabin. They also have family apartments on board, which is a veranda suite with an interconnecting room which has bunk beds, bathrooms, lots of toys which are designed specifically for kids, so you can have a whole family apartment. They have kids clubs which range from the Knopf Club, which is for 2 to 3-year-olds, a kids club for 4 to 10-year-olds, and a teens club from 11 to 15 years old. They also have little touches like, for example, they'll provide a late riser service where they'll come and fetch the kids from your suite. They'll take them away in the mornings and give you some you-time. They also provide, if you're coming with young ones, a baby welcome pack which you can book before you get on board. So when you get on board, you'll have things like diapers, food, and it means that you have to bring much less stuff with you on board. So it's a much younger demographic and really targeting kids. The important thing to note, of course, is if you're traveling in peak school holiday time, there is a chance that there will be a lot of kids on board. So for example, I was traveling in mid-July and there was 55 kids on board. So if you want to avoid kids, avoid the key school holiday times. The ninth thing I want to talk about is that although it's ultra luxury, it is a pretty laid back and informal atmosphere on board. So there's no formal nights, no gala nights where you have to get dressed up. In fact, there's no formal dress code, although people do tend to dress very smartly. So you'll find gentlemen do wear jackets to dinner, ladies will wear sort of knee-length dresses. Dining is open-seated. The whole ambience on board is pretty refined, quiet, cultured. Europa 2 is rated consistently as one of the best or the best cruise ships around. So it operates at the ultra luxury, the premium end. It attracts a much younger crowd of people. It's also the international ship, so it's completely bilingual. As an English-speaking traveler, if you're looking for an ultra-luxury line, definitely Europa 2, I would strongly recommend you take a look at. If you enjoyed this video, I'd love it if you watched many more of my Tips for Travelers videos. The goal is to help you make much more of your precious travel time and money with travel inspiration, advice, and tips.